Ryan had always loved horror games, those glitchy, dimly lit indie titles buried deep inside forgotten corners of the internet. The weirder the graphics, the stranger the atmosphere, the better. So when he found a file simply named Game.exe on an obscure forum, he felt the familiar thrill of curiosity pulling him in. There were no screenshots, no reviews, no comments, just a single link and a message underneath: if you start it, don't stop. Ryan assumed it was some kind of marketing trick. He downloaded it anyway. The moment he launched the game, his room dimmed as if the air itself grew heavier. The screen flickered once, twice, then stabilized. There was no menu, no loading screen, just a long, narrow hallway stretching endlessly into darkness. The walls were made of rotting wood, and the floor creaked with every step his character took. A soft, irregular tapping echoed from somewhere ahead, like long fingernails drumming on a door. Ryan smirked. Classic spooky atmosphere. I've seen worse. But the game behaved strangely. When he stopped moving, the tapping stopped too. When he turned around, something coughed behind him, so close it felt like warm breath on his neck. The sound came through his headphones, but it felt real, too real. He tried to pause the game, but there was no escape menu, no settings, no exit, nothing. Annoyed, he reached for the power button on his PC tower. But before he could touch it, the hallway on the screen suddenly twisted, and red letters smeared across the wall inside the game. Don't stop. Ryan's hand froze. The tapping noises turned into footsteps, slow, dragging, growing louder. His heart thudded with an intensity he didn't expect. He pushed the character forward again, just to see what would happen. The hallway stretched longer, bending into shapes that didn't follow normal architecture. Doors appeared on either side, each one shaking violently as if something behind them was desperate to escape. Sometimes, soft whimpers echoed from within. Sometimes, snarls. One door in particular caught his attention. It didn't shake, it didn't scream. Instead, it whispered Ryan. He jolted upright. Did he hear that correctly? His name. Maybe he was imagining it. Maybe the audio was glitching, but the whisper came again. Clearer this time. Ryan opened the door. His skin crawled. No horror game should know his name. He hovered the character in front of the door, hesitating. He didn't want to open it, but he also couldn't ignore it. With a deep breath, he pressed the interact key. The door creaked open, revealing a pitch-black room. A small white shape flickered in the center. As the character stepped closer, the shape sharpened into a figure, thin, trembling, and standing unnaturally tall. Its face was blank except for a wide grin carved far too deep, stretching from ear to ear like a slit in a piece of paper. The figure tilted its head slowly, bones cracking like dry wood. Then, in a voice that scraped like metal, it spoke. Almost there. The game screen glitched violently. The lights in Ryan's room flickered. His speakers let out a low, vibrating hum that rattled the desk. Ryan panicked and yanked the PC plug from the wall. The monitor stayed on. The hallway returned. This time, Ryan wasn't controlling anyone. The camera moved forward by itself. Every step echoed inside his room. Something was chasing. He could hear it panting, starving, angry. The screen shook as if the creature was gaining speed. The walls of the hallway splintered and warped, forming grotesque faces that screamed silently as the camera rushed past. Ryan backed away from the desk, but his reflection in the dark part of the monitor caught his eye. He wasn't alone in the reflection. Behind him stood the tall figure from the game, long limbs, broken posture, that same impossible grin stretching across its face. Its hand lifted and rested gently on his shoulder. A cold, bony pressure squeezed his skin. The monitor flashed a final message in bright red text. The game doesn't end until you do. Ryan tried to scream, but something dragged him toward the screen. His fingers scraped the desk. The monitor swallowed the light in the room. His vision blurred, and the image of the hallway consumed everything. When the screen went black, the room fell silent. Only one thing remained on the desk: a new file. Continue.exe, waiting for the next player.